Batman tells Superman to go and talk to a girl at a hospital who would end up telling him about her missing sister, who apparently have been kidnapped by men up in the sky. Clark talks the situation out with Green Lantern and eventually realizes that if he was to try and find the girl's sister, he would have to go on a mission that is multiple months long. Batman and Clark's father tried convincing him to take on that mission, but he just didn't want to, knowing that he has other responsibilities. But that all changed when the girl at the hospital passed away, as he then finally takes up in the sky to go to where Green Lantern told him the kidnappers might be, only for him to get in the fight of his life where he wasn't allowed to use any superpowers, and after 10 rounds of absolute hell, Clark's will somehow wins and ultimately gets the information he needed, leading to his next stop, which was an intergalactic call center, one that was so dreading and boring that Clark just began facing all of his biggest fears in his own head, as we see him imagining things such as Lois getting gunned down by Lex. But after a very long wait, Superman finally gets to make his call to Earth and gets to talk to Lois for the first time in a long while to reassure her that everything's fine. He then continued his journey to find the girl, only to somehow end up in a charity race against the Flash where they both had to go 10 laps around the world. The race was obviously extremely intense and had the entire world watching, and thus made more money than any sports event had ever made. But knowing that Superman was gonna lose, Lex announces that he's gonna donate $1 billion to charity if Superman wins. However, unlike what everyone might have thought, Superman actually ends up winning, and then suddenly out of nowhere, Clark finds himself waking up beside Lois, where he would go on to live a day in what seemed to be the absolute perfect life from all aspects. He testifies against Lex in court, types up a report with no stress, and then goes to have lunch with old friends. However, as he goes to sleep, we see that all of that was just an imagination of his perfect life essentially offered to him in return of him letting go of the girl. But he obviously declines the offer and eventually breaks free through the chains to go through an army of aliens one by one, where he would get told that the reason this specific girl was kidnapped was because they needed a meaningless human that nobody would care about to use for experiments with their weapons. But Superman expressed that he cared and therefore broke the girl free, took her with him to answer every single question she had and tell her that it's going to be okay.